And now our continuing series on the greatest songs of all time. From 1958, Little Richard, Good Golly, Miss Molly. Born Richard Wayne Penniman, December 5th, 1932, he's considered key in the transition from rhythm and blues to rock and roll in the 50s. He claims to be the architect of rock and roll, and history would seem to bear out Little Richard's boast. More than any other performer, save perhaps Elvis, Little Richard blew the lid off the 50s, laying the foundation for rock and roll with his explosive music and charismatic persona. While in high school, Richard began playing the alto saxophone and marching band, but he began losing interest in school and began performing in a variety of traveling shows in his mid-teens. By October 1951, he was recording jump blues records for RCA Camden. In October of 53, he began recording with Peacock Records, and he released several records between 1951 and 54, but none were significant hits. Then, 1955, in Tutti Frutti, it climbed to the top of Billboard's R&B chart. It was followed by 16 more hit singles, 7 of which reached number 1. Richard, along with his road band, performed his hits in sports stadiums and concert venues across the U.S. from 56 and 57. He brought the races together at his concert at a time in the U.S. when laws still dictated that public facilities, including concert venues, be divided into separate white and colored domains. His audiences would start out segregated in the building, usually with one race on the floor and the other on the balcony, but most of the time, by the end of the night, they were all mixed together. The man for him was great, however, that even in the South, where segregation was most rampant, the taboos against black artists appearing in white venues was being shattered. Richard, an innovative and charismatic performer, appearing in sequin capes under flickering lights that he brought from show business into the music world. He'd run off and on stage, jumping, yelling, whipping the audience into a frenzy. At a concert in Baltimore, concert history was made when excited people had to be restrained from jumping off the balconies, and the police had to stop the show twice. Later in the show, girls began to throw their undergarments onto the stage. Little Richard first heard the phrase, "Good Golly, Miss Molly," from a southern DJ named Jimmy Pinnock. He swiped the music from Ike Turner's piano entry to Jackie Brinston's Rocket 88, recorded by Sam Phillips in Memphis 7 years earlier. "I always liked that record," Little Richard said. "I used the riff in my act, so when we were looking for a lead-in to Good Golly, Miss Molly, I did that, and it fit. And it quickly became a rock and roll standard, and has subsequently been covered by hundreds of artists." 15 weeks on the chart, top spot of number 10. Certainly one of the greatest songs of all time. From 1958, Little Richard, Good Golly, Miss Molly.
Good golly, Miss Molly, sure